Part 382. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 3811. He is not a fool, how can he fail to see the current situation? Dangerous, the situation is serious. This goes out to find someone, where to find it? It's been so long. This is obviously a hard job, thankless. Why bother? If it can be declined, it will definitely be rejected. Shut up. I feel like throwing up after listening to you talk nonsense now. Grass. Can you stop pretending in front of labor and management? What the hell are you? I still don't know. If you don't go, I will kill you. The city lord Cassius directly issued the death order. Quaid. Now he is suffering. Damn it, how come there are so many dramas here? What a bastard. The more I think about it, the more irritable I feel in my heart. His complexion looked a little dark, and his brain was buzzing. My lord, it's not that the subordinates don't want to go, the key is that you see, the outside is surrounded by the large army from Disha city of Huangji city. Even if I want to go out, I can't do it. How on earth is this going to get out? There is no way at all. My lord, this can't be done, this matter, really can't be done. Hearing the sound of beeping, Quaid was crying, what does it mean to put an impossible task in front of his eyes? Did you come here on purpose to make fun of him? Ah. As for what? We all have no grudges, no need, really no need. Too difficult. No. How did the group of foreigners rush out? Since they can rush out, why can't you? Ah. Are you worthless compared to that group of foreigners? Quaid, you admit that you are trash. Speak. Speak. Bastard. Why are you dumb? Isn't it pretty good to say just now? Today, I really want to see if your tongue is hard, or my sword is sharp. The eyes of Cassius, the lord of Tianlin City, flickered with killing light. The emotions at the moment are really overwhelming. The more I think about it, the more disturbed I feel. Damn thing. It's all dog stuff. My lord, please don't be so anxious. This matter still needs to be discussed in the long term. We can follow the road to the West Gate. Even if we track them down to the city of those foreigners, we still have to catch those people. They can come to our Tianlin city, and we can naturally go to their city. If you can run away, the monk can't run away from the temple. Their fate is sealed at this moment. Following this path, there will definitely be some new gains. My lord, what do you think? At the critical moment, Talha, the third-class god general of Tianlin city, stood up, quite assuming a voluntary invitation. Lugaz, the third-class god general of Tianlin city, opened his mouth. He had been pulling aside just now, but unfortunately, he still didn't stop. This situation is complicated. The situation will also collapse. I really don't know what to do next. The road ahead is bleak. The more I look at it, the more I feel a splitting headache. There are thousands of thoughts, and the consciousness is messed up to the extreme. What you said makes sense. Are you willing to go to those foreign cities and arrest those people? If that's the case, it's very dangerous. Are you really not afraid? Right now, we haven't deciphered the language of that group of foreigners. We only know some simple words. If you speak in a foreign city, you will definitely be exposed. Once exposed, you will definitely die. General Talha. Aren't you afraid? Cassius, the lord of Tianlin city, squinted his eyes, and his strange eyes fell on Talha. He was indeed more interested in this existence. My lord, I dare not lie to you, I am afraid. But as a warrior of the Protoss, I should turn my fear into a driving force to move forward. That's the only thing I can do right now. As for what it will look like in the future, it's still unknown, and it's beyond my control. This matter is set now. If you don't bring back the heads of those foreigners, Talha will have no face to come back to see the city lord. Please help me, Lord City Master, to fulfill my wish. Talha held his head high, and when he spoke, the aura of his whole body was revealed, which invisibly gave people a sense of great oppression in consciousness. While speaking, the feeling became more and more intense. Wanting to say something, the words swirled wildly around his mouth, but he couldn't say it. That taste seemed particularly appropriate. The more you think about it, the deeper you feel. Good. Good job. What a Protoss warrior. If my warriors of the Protoss can use their lives like you, how could they be reduced to the current situation? Talha, from today onwards, you have full authority over this matter. You are directly responsible to me. As long as I can get back my treasure, the Lord of the city will reward me. What else do you ask for now? Just say, as long as the city lord can agree, I will never shirk. The city lord Cassius said that now he can only go to the doctor in a hurry. As long as there is even a slight possibility of his divine ladder being retrieved, it cannot be missed. I want a few people to act with me. This time I found that group of mysterious aliens became stronger and stronger. When we talked about traitors just now, it seems that MRS-17 and General Shen Qiu are traitors. In this way, their lineup will be even stronger. I need some demigod help. It would be even better if there is a strong demigod to follow. Talha's eyes lit up, and he took the opportunity to open his mouth. Strong demigod. This is not okay. The battle situation is critical now, and the strong demigod is the Dingashanzan needle, which cannot be moved. Otherwise those bastards in Dasha city of Huangji city might do something else. Right now, don't be reckless. Think about it, think about something else. You must break your mentality now, this is the most important thing. I can give you 2 weak demigods and 10 quasi-demigods. You choose these people yourself. They all obey your orders. I only have one request, take back my treasure. This is the most important thing, you know. City Lord Cassius put his palm on Talha's shoulder, and couldn't help but encourage him at the moment. If you don't encourage and encourage, this matter will really fall through. This affected him too much. He can't afford to lose. Can't lose either. There is such an idea in my heart, everything is silent. Comprehensive thinking is in place, and ideas are rushing to the extreme. Obey the Lord City Lord. Then I'm going to choose someone. Then leave immediately. Talha's eyes swept around, and found that the demigods of Tianlin City in the surrounding area turned their eyes, and no one wanted to be picked. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3812. Going out at this time is too miserable. This kind of thankless errand, except for Talha who eagerly wanted to participate, the others could not wait to get rid of it immediately. It's too difficult to grasp this matter. The more I think about it, the more anxious I feel in my heart. Thoughts and consciousness are messy, and everything is silent. Play, just play along. Talha remained silent, looking a little disappointed. In the low-level soldiers and officers of the Protoss, he can still see endless blood and fighting spirit. But from the eyes of these so-called demigod generals in Tianlin City, all they can see is greed for pleasure. They used to have passion and impulsiveness, as well as the will and courage to sacrifice everything for Tianlin City. But what's wrong with this now? After being promoted to the demigod position, with the status, does the person become smug? Right now, it is the moment of life and death for Tianlin City. At this moment, the honor of the entire Tianlin City is at stake. No one took the initiative to stand up. Talha looked at Lugaz, his good brother. Ruga's face was dark, and his eyes trembled. Damn, what did you think at the beginning? What the hell, just made friends with such a stunned brother. Now it's alright, just put yourself in it. Now this situation is not so easy to deal with. His brain was buzzing, his thoughts were messed up, and he didn't seem to talk much at all right now. Nonsense, what's the point? Nothing. The sense of rhythm has long since become extremely chaotic. What I care about in my head is actually just such a little thing. The more you think about it, the more useless it becomes. I attended. Lucas took the initiative to stand up. He knew Talha's temper too well. Even if he didn't stand up by himself, this guy would definitely pull himself out. Instead of this, it's better to make a good impression in front of the city lord. Good. Count you in. This is the warrior of my Protoss. Everyone is eager to sign up. The city lord Cassius cheered from the side. But apparently everyone now takes his words as bullshit. This thing, just listen to it and get it. If you really take it seriously, you will lose. It doesn't make any sense. After playing around, there are still some XZS in it. In the end, it was still broken. Crushed all over. The more I think about it, the worse the thoughts in my heart feel. My mind is confused, I don't say anything, that's all. Talha's gaze continued to scan the surrounding area, looking for his team members. All the quasi-demigods and half-gods in Tianlin City who are standing here can't wait to see a crack in the ground and get in quickly, so as not to suffer this inhuman torture here. Enough torture, my mind is full of those chaotic fragments. These fragments can't be gathered together now, anyway, they are messy, and there is nothing to say. Naturally, the most nervous person now belongs to the second-class General Quaid in Tianlin City. There was a rift between him and Talha. Such a good opportunity, this bastard will definitely not let him go. He, Quaid, was Talha's immediate boss before, and he was a bit majestic. But now the situation has reversed 2 levels, and now the city lord trusts him extraordinarily, and even released all the power. In this case, his options may not be much. Thinking of this in my heart at the moment, my brain is buzzing. The more I thought about it, the more confused my mind became. The eyeballs fluttered, and everything was silent. Don't call me, don't call me. Can't see me, can't see me. Go away. Go away. I have a low sense of existence. Don't stare at me. A muttering sound followed, and the consciousness of the whole person followed. It's nothing, the rhythm is super chaotic. Quaid secretly prayed in his heart, if it wasn't for the city lord standing here, he would have slipped away long ago. Standing here and suffering this crime. It's so embarrassing. General Quaid. Talha's voice came over, and it was like the voice of a nightmare to Quaid at this moment. Hearing it in his ears, his whole body couldn't help but sway along with it. All kinds of panic and anxiety gathered in his mind, his lips trembled extremely, his thoughts were confused, and his face was extremely red. Right now I don't know what to say. Immediately numb. The less you want something to happen, the more likely it is to happen. This is the so-called Murphy effect. Ah. Ta, General Talha. Is there something wrong? Hey, the defense of the West City Gate is already under a lot of pressure. Now that you and Rugas, the 2 main generals, have left, the pressure on me is even greater. General Talha, in my mind, you have always been a respected warrior of the Protoss. You never backed down when you were fighting. I've seen you charge, and that turbulent posture is enough to show your loyalty to Tianlin City. In many ways, we want to study hard with you. The muttering sound followed, and the sound of emotion gathered in an all-round way. Everything was silent, and the sense of rhythm took off in an all-round way. Quaid said these things at the moment, but in fact, he had only one purpose, which was to flatter him cleanly, so that he could avoid joining Talha's team. Didn't you hear what I just said? Break through the layers of defenses in Disha city of Huangji city first, and still have to pursue them all the way. Don't give up even if you chase them into the cities of those foreigners. At that time, on other people's territory, wouldn't it be like a meat bun beating a dog, with no return? This trip, the chance of being able to recover the treasure is very small, that is to say, the chance of making meritorious service is slim. But once the mission fails, maybe his life will be lost outside. Even if you are lucky enough to save your life, it may be even more difficult since then. If the city lord can't see the treasure, he will definitely lose his temper. If at that time, one of them counts as one, don't even try to run away, they all have to follow suit. Thinking of these, it is inevitable that I will feel extremely anxious in my heart. My mind was full of thoughts, my consciousness was messed up, and my whole body immediately pulled my hips. That's it, it's nothing, just keep playing. Is this rhythm too strong? Very real and very relevant. If you feel it, you are invincible. Haha. God General Cade speaks too seriously. Rugas and I were just doing our job. On the contrary, Master Cade is not only capable of leading troops, but his self-improving combat power is hard to match at the same level. If Lord God General Cade can help, there is hope for us to seize the treasure of Lord City Lord this time. I also hope that Master Cade will follow me. What? What is your expression, Lord General Cade? Huh? Don't you want to? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 3813. The third-class god General Talha of Tianlin City blinked, and then asked back in a surprised tone. Quaid. Only fools are willing to do this shit. But I have a hard time to say. This bastard always uses the name of the city lord to suppress himself. And now that the city lord is here, what can he do? In addition to bear. Quaid couldn't help but glanced in the direction of the city lord Cassius, seeing that the city lord was already sharpening his sword. It seems that whenever he wants to make a fuss, he will kill it directly with a big knife. At that time, this life will be completely ended. Not much hope. The situation is completely overwhelmed. Mentality, completely collapsed. The rhythm is also chaotic. It's over. Of course this god will, of course I won't refuse. It's my honor to devote myself to death for, the Lord City Lord. Yes, it is my honor. So, how can I make excuses? Do not worry. This time, we will be able to cooperate sincerely and win back the treasure of Lord City Lord. Our brothers are of one heart, and our benefits can cut through gold. Life is like a play, all depends on acting skills. Well, sometimes you have to say something that you don't even think is pleasant. Only in this way can the rhythm be displayed in place. In terms of posture, there is an all-round gathering, and a sense of ritual gradually emerges. As for the others, what else is there to say? It was nothing, and the sense of rhythm immediately collapsed in an all-round way. Too much talk, no point at all, and that's it? The second-class god general of Tianlin City, Quaid, gritted his teeth, and now he felt that his heart was bleeding. But so what? At the moment, I can only move on with trembling lips. Things have come to the point where there is nothing left to say. Good. Very good. If you all have this perseverance, it will be easy. I'm afraid that you are still fighting secretly at this time. If this is the case, you are too stupid. The matter has come to this, there must be no more fighting in the nest. Find my treasure, and you will all be heroes of Tianlin City. At that time, whatever you want, the city lord will give you. But this god will speak the ugly words first. Humph. If you try your best to find treasures for me, you will know the methods of the city lord. I hope you can collapse a bit by then. Don't give me those things that are not there. Give me a break. The cold snorts gathered in an all-round way, and the posture was also fully displayed. Such a gesture, let alone tell anyone. It's true. Cassius, the lord of Tianlin city, narrowed his eyes, revealing a fierce gleam in his eyes. If it weren't for being restrained by the armies of Huangji city and Disha city, he would have wanted to pursue it himself. No matter what, the divine ladder must be recovered. This is the most important thing. Once there is a change in the divine ladder, my road to becoming a god will be stranded there. This kind of thing is not allowed. Never allowed. There are more divine ladders. They should, all of them should be in the cave of the ancient and powerful man. Counting the days, the cave of the ancient and powerful will also be opened. Be prepared in advance. But the divine ladder is indispensable. You must have all the 9 sacred ladders. As long as there is a section missing, problems will follow. The matter has come to this point, it is useless to say more, this matter must be vigilant and vigilant. When the bastards in Disha city and Huangji city are resolved, I will deal with this matter myself. Snort. And those traitors who betrayed me will all die. Damn it. Madam 17? Kathy. How dare you betray me? Wait for the thunderous wrath of the city lord. Cassius, the lord of Tianlin city, squinted his eyes. While speaking, various thoughts suddenly exploded in his mind. Thousands of thoughts, messy consciousness, such a rhythm is flying in an all-round way. Feelings gather at the moment, let alone talk to someone. The rhythm is in place, the feeling is also there, and the time for comprehensive deepening is coming. Take off. Take off is pending. What I want is this feeling. Fang Fan and the others ran wildly, seeing that they were getting closer and closer to Yuanxi Divine City. This time it was a rewarding experience. The God Stone fragments are full, and there are many rare treasures. By the way, he also brought back Kathy, Madam 17, the Lord of Tianlin City. From Fang Fan's point of view, if Kathy continues to be placed in the City Lord's mansion, I feel a little uneasy. It's not safe there. Anything can happen. Whenever something unexpected happens, it will be completely followed by the calf. From Fang Fan's point of view, this is not what he wants to see. The most congratulatory thing is that the Gothic destroyer Gatling Legion has been promoted to the quasi-demigod state. The first demigod realm legion under his command. In addition to this, the other 9 legions are also in the Supreme Saint realm, and they are only one step away from demigods. In this regard, the legion has completely set sail. As the combat power of the legion becomes stronger and stronger, correspondingly, there are more things that can be done. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, thinking secretly in his heart, his thoughts gradually fluttered, and everything was kept silent. In the dark, Caog shrank his neck, and his eyes flashed. He was forced to obey the order of Wang Tu, the first-class saint of the Temple of the Alliance of Light, and came to punish and assassinate or kill Fang Fan with a knife. He has been following since Yuanxi Shencheng. This is still going on now. As for when Fang Fan and others entered Tianlin City before, he had been lying in ambush outside the city and saw Disha City and Huangji City attack Tianlin City with his own eyes. Speaking of which, he was the first to discover the Huangji City army in Disha City, and he was the one who raised the alarm to Tianlin City in order to protect himself. The Lord of Tianlin City should give me a medal for my bravery. Otherwise, if I had warned them earlier and made them vigilant, the city might have been broken by now. Caog muttered, and couldn't help complaining from the side. Not much else to say, anyway, this is what he thinks in his heart now, and it is more difficult to change this idea if he is firm. Why? I thought that so many troops would besiege Tianlin City, and that Fang Fan would definitely not be able to escape in the city. If Tianlin City falls today, everything will end with it. Just let Fang Fan die in the vast crowd, and I can go back and report to that bastard Wang Tuesday. But why did it become like this now? Difficult to go to the blue sky. Asshole. They rushed out like that. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3814. Caog rolled his eyes, and those pictures couldn't help but appear in his mind. The more I recall, the more frightened my face looks. He hid far away, but he also saw Fang Fan leading the way. Too fierce. The siege of millions of troops in Huangji City, Disha City, was not taken seriously at all. Swipe the ground and start rampaging. In fact, to be honest, when Caog saw Fang Fan being so reckless, he secretly rejoiced in his heart. He felt that Fang Fan was stupid at that time, and he was sure to die, so he settled the matter without any effort. Suddenly, there was a feeling of happiness in my heart. But soon, he didn't think so. This matter is getting more and more hip. The rhythm is also getting more and more chaotic. I don't know what to do next at all. It's messed up, totally messed up. The rhythm is chaotic, and the consciousness is completely collapsed. Thinking of these pictures, at the moment it is the first and the second big, and I don't know what to say at all. At that time, there were tens of thousands. Even tens of thousands of Protoss troops used to besiege Fang Fan, and hundreds of them. Then the tens of thousands of Protoss troops are vulnerable. As soon as you charge, you will all lie down. Hiss. This scene feels creepy when I recall it now. From this point of view, is this group of Protoss troops too hot, or is that Fang Fan too strong now? Strong, it's a bit shocking to be so strong. If you can't hold on, all of this will follow. The chaotic rhythm, who can control it? Whoever goes up will die. This Fang Fan is much stronger now than before. The people under his command don't feel like the previous group of people. What have they experienced in the Protoss city? Is there any treasure in the Protoss city that can make a person instantly stronger? It seems that I have never heard of such a thing. It's strange, it's really strange. Forget it, it's pointless to think so much. Call. It just ends up confusing your own head. It's nothing. The key is that Fang Fan is about to return to Yuanxi God City now. If Fang Fan goes back, that old fellow Wang Tu will definitely torture me. Heh. This old guy is not a good thing. He doesn't care what danger I have encountered, and he will definitely take me under the knife. The danger to me would be even greater then. Notify that old fellow Wang Tu to come over. It's an excellent choice. Now the guards under Fang Fan's command have also become stronger, and this Fang Fan is also covered by the goddess Athena. If Wang Tu really fights with him, it's really not sure who will win. Tisk. It would be even better if both sides were hurt, and I just happen to be a fisherman. No matter how bad it is, kill that bastard Wang Tu. If that's the case, this guy won't be able to torture me in the future. These things need to be considered, and considered clearly. Steady, absolutely don't mess up. Send signal. Signal quickly. Caog squinted his eyes, and then took out a golden talisman in his hand. This is the agreement between him and Wang Tu. There is a trace of Wang Tu's consciousness in this talisman. As long as it burns, he will feel it. At that time, it will fly here. At the same time, Wang Tu, who was cultivating in Yuanxi Divine City, frowned suddenly, his expression changing unpredictably. Came back. Ah. So, the opportunity is here. However, since Caog will send a signal to me, it can only show that this Fang Fan is not dead yet. Waste. I knew you were unreliable, a waste. Snored. Such a small matter can't be handled cleanly. It's all right now, I have to deal with it myself. If you find an opportunity later, you have to do it well. The muttering sound followed, and Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, licked his lips, and while talking, his eyes couldn't help flickering all over. Thoughts gradually exploded in my mind. Here comes the chance for revenge. Fang Fan is his nightmare. If he doesn't kill him, he will never be able to live in his heart. Thinking of those chaotic scenes, the whole person has to be completely stunned. The more you think about it, the more chaotic, the more annoying you become. Immediately, consciousness burst out in my mind, completely overwhelming me. Let all this disappear in the long river of history. Let this chaotic rhythm continue to be chaotic. Wang Tu left quietly, he didn't intend to disturb anyone. But he himself has been targeted a long time ago, so it's not that easy to sneak away. The Dark Temple is stationed in the base camp of Yuanqi Shencheng. Moved. Sneakily moving towards the outside of the city. And you specifically avoided everyone. It seems that this old guy can't bear it anymore, and he's about to strike. Hee. It seems that Fang Fan should come back. This Fang Fan is really talented. Going to the Protoss city is like going home. Back and forth, without any barrier. This kind of courage and ability is not something ordinary people can have. It can only be said to be extremely powerful. The rhythm is there, and everyone who understands it. Interesting, extremely interesting indeed. There are thousands of thoughts, and the consciousness suddenly rushes in the mind. The more I think about it, the more unusual it feels. Mo Tian, the first saint in the Dark Temple, stood up silently, and then waved his hand to let the spies in front of him go down first. At a time like this, he needs to work it out in his heart. There can be no surprises. You don't really want to rescue that Fang Fan, do you? I think you're completely idle. You said it all, what is the reincarnation of a real god? If it is really the reincarnation of the true god, what can an Wang disciple do to him? He must have many trump cards in his hand. It's meaningless for you to engage in what you have and what you don't have. It will only make this rhythm completely chaotic. Boring. Madman, the first son of the Dark Temple, curled his lips, then stretched his waist, and said a few truths. What do you know? It's because I know that Fang Fan will be fine, so I want to join in the fun. Since it has been determined that he is the reincarnation of the true God, it must be a good way to win over this reincarnated body. Their Temple of the Light Alliance was able to completely overturn and suppress our Dark Temple, this time relying on the reincarnated body of the true God. I didn't expect them to be stupid and want to break their own arms. Heh. If that's the case, why don't we intervene again? Then turn bad things into good things. Let this reincarnated body of the true God become a helper for my dark camp. In this way, our dark camp will definitely overwhelm the light camp. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3815. Mo Tian, the first-class saint in the Dark Temple, licked his lips, and while speaking, the thoughts in his eyes burst out. The more I think about it, the more I feel another kind of excitement sweeping in place. Naturally, he couldn't miss such a great opportunity. I missed it this time, and I don't know when I want to find the next round of opportunities. The Temple of the Alliance of Light and the Temple of Darkness have been fighting for so many years. Although there are victories and losses for each other, in the end it is just a small victory and a small loss. Basically still in a state of balance. No one wants to completely defeat the other party. Such a scene has been placed there, and it is indeed a headache to watch. For Motion, he wants to change the situation. He has great wisdom in his heart. The more you think about it, the more pleasantly surprised and exciting you feel. For a moment, thoughts fluttered, and everything was silent. The sense of rhythm has become fully surging. Burst. Continue to explode. The more you think about it, the more real it becomes. What I want is this feeling. The intensity of the display should also gradually become stronger. The taste in it, let me tell you. Okay. Stop nagging in your ears. I do not understand you. According to me, this is clearly muddy water, why bother to wade into muddy water? Even if he is the reincarnation of a true God, but he chose and came to the light camp for the first time, which shows that he is also the God's residence of the light camp. Think about it, can the gods of the light camp choose our dark temple? Isn't this obvious? Master Saint, you just want to do something big, sooner or later you have to fall into it. It's boring to do these useless exercises every day. Madman, the number one son of the Dark Temple, curled his lips and couldn't help complaining from the sidelines. From his point of view, it feels like these are all bells and whistles. You still don't believe me when you say you are young. Hee hee. Do you really think that the true gods in the sky have such a clear distinction between light and darkness? Actually, they have already seen through the so-called light and darkness, and feel that they are all the same. The true gods of the light camp join the dark camp, the true gods of the dark camp join the light camp, and even the true gods of the light camp and the dark camp directly join the neutral camp. There are many of these. This is nothing new. The higher you go, the less obvious the distinction between light and darkness. When you say that, I suddenly remembered something. According to what you said, if that Fang Fan is really the reincarnation of the true god of the light camp, I will lure him to my dark camp. When he returns to God's domain, will he also join the dark camp? Then do I count as helping the dark camp win over a true god? Hiss. How much credit does this have? How many rewards can the true gods have? Mo Tien, the first-class saint in the dark temple, widened his eyes instantly, and while talking, his lips couldn't help murmuring, his heart trembling with excitement, and he couldn't control it when he thought of these things. Thoughts are messed up, the rhythm is stretched, and that's what it looks like. The cool moonlight is being fully practiced to the end. Who can control the chaotic rhythm? That said, that is called a righteous one. There's a lot of bells and whistles. Madman, the number one son of the dark temple, opened his mouth, wanting to complain about something, but was speechless in the end. I think our names should be changed. You might as well be Madman. Don't get fancy. I haven't got anything yet, and I haven't determined anything yet, so I'm starting to fantasize here. What's the point of this? Really are. I thought there was something really wrong. In the end, it's all about hip pulling. The mumbling sound followed, and the madman shook his head, too lazy to talk nonsense. You are still young, you don't understand, it's normal. Once there is any change in this matter, how can you imagine it? Forget it, you don't understand anyway, so don't think so much for the time being. You have to move over quickly. The icing on the cake is not as good as giving charcoal in the snow. If you miss this, you won't have this opportunity. Mo Tien, the first-rank saint in the Dark Temple, took a deep breath, then dragged Mad Demon and headed directly. Grass. What are you pulling me for? If you want to go, you can go. I feel that all these things you have done are in vain. So I won't go. Where am I going? Let me go. Is it still forced? Madman, the number one son of the Dark Temple, rolled his eyes and said speechlessly. Move the whole body with one hair. Wangtu left Yuanqi Shencheng quietly, he thought that no one knew, but in fact, countless pairs of eyes were staring at him secretly. The eyes of the Dark Temple are just one of them. Interesting. The two first-class saints from the Temple of the Light Alliance and the Temple of Darkness all quietly left the city of Yuanqi. What are they going to do? Treasure hunting. Could it be that there is some treasure near here? What treasure can attract two saints to go at the same time? It's just that if Saint Wangtu knew about this treasure, why didn't he tell us? Could it be that he wants to swallow it for himself? It's not impossible that this possibility exists. It just sounds a little weird. Cao Tang, the lord of Guangming God City, frowned, his eyes couldn't help turning, and various thoughts in his mind became more and more. The more you think about it, the more confused your thoughts become. The rhythm is also completely messed up. It's a mess, and I don't know how to feel right now. The heart of chaos, let alone talk to anyone. It doesn't matter, go out and have a look first. If these two first-class saints fight for the treasure, can I take the opportunity to be a fisherman? Huh? This is an excellent opportunity. Cao Tang, the lord of Guangming God City, nodded, and then began to move. Father. What did you say? Treasure hunting. Take me. I like the treasure hunt the most. The eyes of Cao Man, the young master of Guangming God City, brightened, and he also clamored to go. The excitement on his face at this moment was beyond words. Cao Tang. Another toss. Yuanqi Shencheng, the place where Guangming Academy is stationed. They're all out of town. What's the situation? Wang Tu, Mo Tian, Cao Tang. What did they all go out for? This basically recruited the elite of the entire Allied army. Could it be that the army of the Protoss is coming again? Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, frowned, puzzled. At this moment, his eyes scanned the surroundings. Grand Uncle Ji was still in seclusion, and Fang Fan went to the Shenzhou city to do things again. There was no one to discuss with. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3816. Deputy Palace Master Shui, I don't think this is the rhythm for the Protoss to invade. If the Protoss really wants to invade on a large scale, what are these people doing so sneakily? They are so sneaky, it can only show one thing, they did nothing good. Wu Meiling, deputy head of the Guangming Academy, pondered for a while, and then hit the nail on the head. Didn't do anything good. You mean, do they have some kind of conspiracy? It's just, what kind of conspiracy is it? There's nothing right now. It looks like there's a lot of confusion in front of you. Hey, how to deal with this is the most important thing. It must be something extraordinary to be able to mobilize the Temple of the Light Alliance and the Temple of Darkness to dispatch together. Could it be that some true God relics have been discovered? So they want to take it all. Is there such a possibility? Not quite. Shui Wanren frowned and shook his head. The more he thought about it, the more his brain ached. Many thoughts burst out in my mind, and some expressions were not clear for a while. My mind is full of thoughts, my consciousness is gradually messed up, and my whole person is in a kind of relative despair. The more you think about it, the more confused your thoughts become. In the chaos, even the most basic sense of order is gone. Deputy Palace Master Shui, have you thought of a possibility? These forces are all eyeing Fangfan. Wu Meiling, deputy head of Guangming Academy, pondered for a while, and then came to the key point. Your idea is very novel. You mean to say that they want to take revenge in the past because they discovered Fangfan's traces? Yes. Wang Tu hates Fangfan, a bastard to the bone. It's normal for him to make some moves. Cao Tang, the lord of Guangming God City, also has ulterior motives. Although it seems that a peace has been made now, I have never believed him. I know what kind of medicine he sells in his gourd. Besides, there is Motion, the first-class saint in the Dark Temple, who has tried to win over Fangfan several times before, but Fang Fan has rejected them all, so he has a heart of hatred. Why? If this matter is really related to Fang Fan's bastard, this kid is in danger now. And they all followed suit, which means that Fang Fan has come out of the city of the Protoss. Go. Go. Quickly go to help. No matter how late it is, it will be too late. Shui Wanren's complexion changed, and his breathing involuntarily became rapid as he spoke. At this moment, he couldn't help but feel a lot of tension in his heart. In case something happens, it will really be over. In this matter, we must be steady in all directions, and we must not slack in the slightest. This is the most important thing. A little carelessness, the situation will be completely pulled hips. Mentally, you must be steady. This is the most important thing. The entire Yuanxi Shenzhen became restless. It seems that there is no movement on the surface, but in fact, there is already a storm in the dark. Everyone is moving. It seems that there is no war, but in fact, the war in the dark has already broken out. Master, I always feel that someone is watching from behind. But I checked carefully, and I couldn't see anyone. The eyes behind this are so clever. Master, why don't I go and check it out? Lena bit her red lips, and then walked forward, her eyes fluttering as she spoke. At the moment, this state of mind is fully gathered, and a heart can't help but tremble with it. There are eyes on the back, which means it is not safe. For Lena, this might pose a threat to the master. This is her negligence, and she feels inexplicably sad. Fine. It should be the eyes and ears of the bright God City, and it hasn't been cleaned up before. This guy should have followed us when we first left Yuanxi Shenzhen. It's kind of interesting. I've persisted for so long, and I'm still keeping track. There is some means. Fang Fan's eyes glanced deeply at the back, his eyes trembled slightly, his thoughts were full of thoughts, his consciousness gradually fluttered, and everything was kept silent. Thinking too much is basically useless. Let's deal with this guy when we get to Yuanxi Divine City. Fang Fan and the others continued to move forward. Caog, who was hiding in the dark, was trembling at the moment, and he looked like he was about to die. Her lips were trembling, her eyes were fluttering, her thoughts were confused, her forehead trembled suddenly, and her heart was also extremely messy. Almost found out. Huh. Caog, have saved my life again. Hey. Taking your life for yourself every day, what is this? You bastard. You're too bastard. Thinking of these messy things, my whole heart is completely messed up. It's a lot of bells and whistles. I won't do this kind of thing after killing me. Speaking of which, this time I've already thought about it, and I don't want to take revenge. It's that old fellow Wang Tu who has been persecuting me. Damn it. This old bastard. Sooner or later, I will make him look good. The mumbling voice followed, and the voice of emotion gathered, and the whole person drifted along. Caog glanced at the distance, and he didn't want to continue to follow, but when he thought of Wang Tu's furious face, Caog sighed softly, then gritted his teeth, and followed up again. Too difficult. Now I can only grit my teeth and keep rushing forward. The situation has developed to this point. There is nothing more to say. Be calm and calm down. This is the most important thing. The moment of turmoil has come. A hurricane blew past, as if heralding the arrival of everything. Protoss, Tianlin City. Tianlin City's third-class god General Talha brought 2 weak semi-divine second-class generals and 10 quasi-half-divine third-class god crystals, plus 100 high-level saints and Tianlin who were in the peak saint realm. The city's elite stabbed in an all-round way. Under the coordination of various forces, they finally rushed out. Set off. Follow our original marching route. They must be going back to their own city. As long as you pursue this road, you won't be afraid that you won't be able to catch them. Now, already now. Pursuit at the fastest speed. Talha snorted coldly, his posture was very solemn. Although he is only a third-class general and a quasi-demigod now, the two second-class generals in the weak demigod state in front of him have to obey his orders. He is so crazy. Not much else to say, the confidence in all aspects is here, and everyone else will follow suit. On this matter, what can I say? The posture is in place, and the others are missing. As for what to say? Nothing, just such a pattern. With the pattern, can the others be far behind? Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3817. Alright Talha. People don't know how long they have been running away. It's almost enough to show your loyalty in front of the city lord. You don't really want to make contributions, do you? You don't even look at what kind of virtue you have. I rarely talk about you. Don't think too much. Does a person have self-knowledge? If you don't even have self-knowledge, what else are you talking about? Wouldn't it be better to just run aground there? It's nothing. Just thinking about completely confusing this rhythm. Really, there is no rhythm here. The mumbling voice followed, and the complaints gathered in all directions, and they rolled their eyes while talking. The second-class general of Tianlin City, Quaid, looked lazy at the moment. He didn't want to come. It was the bastard Talha who brought him out to avenge his personal revenge. In Tianlin City, he is the commander guarding the entire West City. Talha is just a 10,000 captain under his command. Now that he is out of Tianlin City, he is a thug, and he has to obey Alha's orders. Who can stand such a thing? Doesn't this mentality collapse in minutes? What is there to say about the extra nonsense? Just leave it there like that. No need to talk nonsense, I understand everything I understand. That being the case, it is true to be calm. General Cade, what's your attitude? Before leaving, the Lord City Lord has given thousands of instructions, and told us to recover the treasure. In front of the City Lord, you also gave your word and made a promise. Why, you want to go back on your word just after leaving Tianlin City? Snored. I'm telling you, it's too late to repent now. If you continue to be so passive and lazy, when you return to Tianlin City to meet the City Lord, I will shirk all responsibility on you. I want to see what you do then. This path has been established from the beginning. Since that's the case, talking too much has no meaning and value. Nonsense. These are all nonsense. Quaid. Do you want the City Lord to cut off your dog's head? Talha's sharp eyes swept over, and now he didn't bother to cover it up anymore. Anyway, the City Lord has given him this authority. That being the case, what else is there to say? Just show it off. At this moment, Talha's main concern is to regain the treasure. Kill the group of mysterious aliens. Even, his anxious heart at the moment is even worse than that of the City Lord Cassius. It is urgent. But before leaving, you also need to show your majesty, otherwise, this wave will really pull your hips. Situation is stronger than people. He, a third-class god crystal in the quasi-demigod realm, leads a second-class god general in the weak demigod realm, and he will be complained more or less. It doesn't matter, but you must not be ambiguous about major events. Now that Quaid is proud they're relying on his own cultivation, he needs to deal a severe blow to his arrogance. It can also let other people see this wave of situation by the way, so that others dare not make any changes. Such a feeling that the overall end is in place, and the posture is surging to the extreme. This wave is basically stable. Steady as Mount Tai. Don't use the City Lord to suppress me. Talha, you are really promising now. It's the same attitude when you talk to me. Believe it or not, I'll kill you. Quaid, the second-class general of Tianlin City, had a gloomy face and a look of displeasure. In front of the city lord, I frankly gave you face, and I didn't dare to be presumptuous in front of the city lord. I didn't expect you to stick your nose in the face. You really regard yourself as a person? As long as I'm so upset, I can beat you to death in minutes. In terms of cultivation, there is such a big gap. What else is there to say about the others? Things are already here, very real. God General Cade wants to kill me, so it's easy. But the Lord City Lord ordered me to take full responsibility for recovering the treasure. I am in charge of you now, and I am your superior. If God General Cade kills me, the Lord City Lord will definitely kill you in order to maintain his majesty. General Cade may feel that it is good to just run away now. Actually, this is the stupidest idea of yours. Who is the City Lord? Even if you escape to the ends of the earth, you will surely die. And in the city, there is your family. You are still doomed. When the time comes, the city lord can't find you, and it's okay to destroy your clan in anger. Lord Quaid, do you still want to kill me now? Lord Quaid, don't be nervous. It's not a big deal. Let's make things clear. It's not a big problem, it's not a big deal. Talha shrugged, with a calm expression on his face. While speaking, his eyes flicked and he smiled playfully. He didn't feel any pressure at the moment. It seemed so calm from beginning to end, as if it didn't happen at all. Quaid opened his mouth, intending to put on a show, but he gave up after a moment of hesitation. Cowardly. Also scared. Every word Talha said spoke to his heart. Although Talha is not strong, he holds the Shangfang sword of the Lord Cassius. Now that it is not good for Talha, it is equivalent to slapping the face of the city Lord Cassius. At that time, we still don't know what it will turn into. There's no point in thinking too much. It's good to keep silent about this matter. Thoughts pushed back, that's all. All kinds of rhythms are also suppressed back in place, this is the most important thing. Okay. Stop talking nonsense. I see. I'll just listen to you from now on. In the end, if you can't get back the treasure of Lord City Lord, don't look for me either. I am now your thug, your tool man. Use whatever you want, use whatever you want. You can use it however you want, I promise I won't follow you. Today I confess. The second-class God General of Tianlin City, Quaid, gritted his teeth, and now he could only crush his teeth and swallow it in his stomach. Thinking of those extremely chaotic scenes, my heart was disturbed. Damn it, everything was broken into pieces. The more I think about it, the more restless I feel. Damn thing. It's all a bunch of dogs. Very good. God Cade will think so, I am very relieved. We are of one heart, and its benefits will cut through gold. We may not be able to chase down the group of foreigners on the way, and we may not be able to take back the treasure, but it doesn't matter, we still have a chance. At that time, we can sneak into the enemy's city and dig out those mysterious aliens bit by bit. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3818. Talha narrowed his eyes, and made up his mind at this moment. There are thousands of thoughts, and the consciousness is gradually messed up. Everyone around looked at each other with helpless expressions on their faces. Now it's on a pirate ship. Now there is only one way to go to the dark. All of them are registered with the city lord. Whenever there is any accident, the city lord will definitely ask them for surgery. Thinking of these, the sense of chaos in my heart became stronger. My head is buzzing, my thoughts are in turmoil, and I don't know what will happen in the future. The more I think about it, the more chaotic I become, and the more I think about it, the more painful it becomes. Gradually, I no longer know how to express my feelings. Why? Talha, you are risking your life. If you don't succeed, you will succeed. The greater the power that the city lord grants you now, the stronger the desire to kill you in the future. If you help the city lord retrieve the treasure, then everything is easy to talk about, and everything will be fine. But if you don't find it, this matter will be a big blow. At that time, the Lord City Master will skin you and cramp you. And there is no room for negotiation. Talha. You are really standing on the edge of a cliff now. Why bother? Rugas opened his mouth, and couldn't help but sighed softly. Speaking, there was a feeling of unwillingness to bear it. In Luga's heart, although Talha was a bit stubborn, they were always brothers. Although there were quarrels between each other, but at the critical moment, it is a relationship that can give up the other party's life to block the knife. There is no doubt about this. By the cliff. A single mistake will cause eternal hatred. Ah. Fine. In fact, I have thought about this situation a long time ago. It doesn't matter. If I don't kill those mysterious aliens, even if I am alive, I will be like a walking dead. This kind of life is meaningless. Actually speaking, sometimes life is worse than death. No break, no stand. Others, it doesn't matter. This time, Lord City Lord gave me unlimited authority. He sent me so many masters. If it doesn't work this time, I may really not have any chance in the future. The growth rate of that group of mysterious aliens is really too fast. None of you can understand. But I can feel it. Whirring. This matter must be broken. Talha licked his lips cracked little by little, and strands of blood flowed down his lips. At this moment he didn't care. All my heart is devoted to the pursuit. Set off. Walk. Talha waved his hand, and immediately started the hunt. Fang Fan and the others continued to run towards Yuanxi Divine City. For a moment, the evil wind howled. Ha ha ha. Really? Sure enough, you guys are back. One after another sinister laughter came, and then the surrounding space trembled crazily. There was a burst of intense heat in the air, which made people feel a little panic from the bottom of their hearts. I am CAO. Problem occurs. I just feel like my right eyelid is twitching. Boy Fang Fan, did the people from Tianlin City of the Protoss chase after him? Why are they so fast? We can't delay. Continue to rush forward. Me, if we wait any longer, we will be cold. Fang Fan boy, what's the matter with you? Why don't you talk? Bai Biao's eyes widened, and while talking, his brows could not help but frown, and a strange expression gradually appeared on his face. All this is far from what I expected. The rhythm also seemed chaotic. No energy, really no energy. How could the pursuit of the Protoss come from behind us? Use your brain and think about it. This is the person who came out of Yuanxi Shenchang. Saint Wang. Come out. Fang Fan stepped forward, and then said something indifferently, followed by his sharp eyes sweeping around, as if to completely suppress everything around him. There was an indescribable momentum and oppressive force between the words, which made people feel trembling and uneasy from the bottom of their hearts. Ha ha ha. You boy is not stupid. If you hadn't provoked the saint again and again, this saint really wouldn't want to kill you. No matter what, you are also the proud son of my light camp. As long as it is cultivated well, there will be successors in the light camp. It's a pity that you insist on going on such a road of no return. It's not that the saint didn't give you a chance at the beginning. But you're useless at all. Since that's the case, there is nothing to say, please go to hell. The voice of emotion was fully in place, and the killing intent in the eyes increased, as if to completely silence everything in front of him. If you feel so deeply, let alone tell it to someone. For a while, I didn't know what to say at all, and there were many words, and there was complete silence. The figure of Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, appeared in front of everyone, and for a while, the battle was already in line. Grass. What a bastard. Oh shit. We fought so hard in the Protoss city and got rid of the bastards of the Protoss too, but we didn't expect to be blocked at the door of our house. Day. What the hell is all this? How can there be such a thing? Aren't you afraid of chilling our hearts? There are wolves in the front and tigers in the back. This also means a hammer. Everything is followed by a complete end, and it is nothing. Why? The Temple of the Alliance of Light is destined to be lonely. Is this how they treat heroes? Pup. I vomit. Bai Piao muttered, and couldn't help but practice art from the sidelines. In this matter, it is to show an attitude. That's enough, Bai Piao, don't talk about it. If this guy could listen to the truth, he wouldn't be here today. Since the adventure came here, it is obvious that they want to kill us without anyone noticing. Fang Fan stretched his waist, with a calm expression on his face, showing no fear at all. Fang Fan, I'll kill him. Kathy narrowed her eyes, her fighting spirit gradually burst out. My lord, I will go with Mrs. Kathy. Shen Qiu took a deep breath and nodded frequently while talking. At this moment, the combat power is gradually bursting into place, and while speaking, the whole person is fluttering, and when the combat power is bursting out, everything is in silence. War. 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 Both Shen Qiu and Kathy are weak demigods of the Protoss, and their combat power is naturally much stronger than the weak demigods of the Light Camp, but in general, they are still a little bit worse than the strong demigods of the Light Camp. But in general, the gap is not very big. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3819. Moreover, the weak demigods of the two Protoss may not have a chance to kill a strong demigod of the Light Camp. Combat power gradually gathered. The situation has completely collapsed. Is this Protoss language? Are these two people from the Protoss? Fang Fan. Why do you have God race people under your hands? And these two are demigod powerhouses of the Protoss. How can it be? Fang Fan. You joined the Protoss. Treason. You actually got together with the gods. I have already seen that you have bad intentions, but I didn't expect you to change so quickly. Humph. This road is already there, and now is your time to die. You must die. You must die. Don't think that you can do whatever you want by hugging the thigh of the Protoss. The roars gathered in all directions. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, gritted his teeth, and while talking, the color of resentment on his face was beyond words. Don't be in a hurry to put a big hat on my head. Ah! This will only make you look stupid. Didn't you come here to kill me? A person like you actually talks about the so-called righteousness. Find a better excuse for you to kill me. Bring me and the Protoss together, so that even if someone finds out that you killed me, you have a reason to argue. This wishful thinking is very well done. It's just that it still looks stupid invisibly. This is no ordinary stupidity. Fang Fan curled his lips, and he seemed to be complacent when speaking at the moment, and his sense of rhythm seemed extremely smooth for a while. The matter has come to this point, it is useless to say more. That's the thing, that's the situation. There's really nothing to say about this thing. Given the present, almost on the line. If you talk too much, you will appear to be ignorant. Ha ha ha. You kid is not stupid. But so what if your kid is clever now? This road is already here. Excessive nonsense, there is no need to say more. There is only one dead end. What is your relationship with the Protoss? It's dead anyway. When you die, I will put your corpses with the gods' corpses together. Forget it, in order to avoid any accidents, let's say that you were hunted down by the Protoss. I just met them. When I kill these Protoss, you will be killed than those Protoss. In this case, you are still a hero against the Protoss. Hey, I've always been soft-hearted. That's all for now, there's no need to say anything else. Are you satisfied with my arrangement? Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, raised his mouth slightly, and then flew into the air. Caog. You did a good job. Going back this time, the seat of City Lord of Guangming God City is yours. Come out. It's already like this, what are you doing in hiding? Wang Tu glanced around in the distance, and then a crooked figure appeared in front of everyone. Caog shook the dust off his body, then circled around in a big circle, and hurriedly ran behind Wang Tu, fearing that he would be robbed by Fang Fan's men on the way. He had seen with his own eyes the strength of those under Fang Fan's command. If there was a fight, he could only say that he would surely die. At that time, all these roads will collapse in an all-round way. Thinking of that horrified scene, my whole body went numb for a moment. At the same time, Caog couldn't help but feel some resentment towards Wang Tu. This guy's desire to perform is too strong. There is too much nonsense. When you meet Fang Fan, why don't you just go up and kill him? Would you be happy if you insisted on talking nonsense? The point is, just say what you say, why do you have to involve me? Who the hell did I provoke? No need. Now the brain is buzzing and trembling. The rhythm doesn't feel right either. The more I think about it in my heart, the more deeply I feel. Immediately, the whole person fell into a kind of aggrieved and helpless. The rhythm is out of order. Consciousness also gradually became less clear. Suddenly sighed, and said a dick. When Caog was hiding in the dark, he felt quite comfortable. He never showed up. In case something unexpected happens in the battle here, it doesn't have much to do with him. From Caog's point of view, he still seemed a little unsteady at the moment. Although Wang Tu, the first-class saint of the Temple of the Light Alliance, came in person and was still in the semi-divine realm, he had a special premonition in his heart, and he always felt that Fang Fan was not so easy to kill. There will even be big twists and turns. What should I do if the old fellow Wang Tu falls into the sand? I sent this signal. Fang Fan didn't know my existence before, but he must know it now. Once the big tree Wang Tu falls, Fang Fan will definitely kill me. Good on. Damn Wang Tu. You know how to play tricks on me. Calling me out, besides allowing you to pretend, what good can it do? Hey, I really don't know what kind of mess is in this brain. It's messy, it's too messy. The rhythm also becomes fragmented in an instant. How do I deal with myself next? Caog trembled his lips, rolled his eyes, and at the moment his heart was not peaceful. The more I think about it, the more frightened I feel. What's wrong with you? Scared. What's so scary about that? It's not for you to go up and kill Fang Fan. This time, the saint will do it himself. Just watch from the side. Look at how this holy man showed his might and got rid of all these people. Hey! Such a spectacular scene needs an audience. Otherwise, it would be too boring. The corners of Wang Tiou's mouth were raised, and the arrogance on his face was beyond words as he spoke. For it. Lord Saint, don't underestimate the enemy. Fang Fan and the others seem to have become stronger again. They broke through the defense line of 1,000,000 troops in the Protoss Tianlin city before, and then came out. Master Saint, the best policy is to be cautious. Either cut the mess quickly with a sharp knife and end the battle quickly. Otherwise, shall we withdraw? Or should I withdraw first? As long as I live, this Fang Fan will definitely not dare to do anything to you. Because once something happens to you, I will announce it. Fang Fan will definitely be afraid of you. Master Saint, what do you think? Shall I withdraw first? Caog's eyes lit up, and while talking, he nodded frequently, and the light in the depths of his eyes trembled wildly. While talking, the mood became more and more excited. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3820. People don't kill themselves. All he had to do now was to pick himself out quickly. Even if you fight in the dark, that thing has nothing to do with me. I just need to save my own life. This is the current purpose of Caog. He felt that his small request should not be too much, right? The momentum is already here, what else is there to say about the others? Rhythm, the key is that this rhythm must be stabilized. Relatively speaking, this is the top priority. As for the other things that are there or not, let him continue to mess up slowly. Snapped. What Caog greeted was a loud slap and a fierce look. Asshole. You mean the saint will lose here? What bastards are you talking about? Damn thing. Are you afraid that the defeat of the saint will affect you? Your wishful thinking is very good. Asshole. If I don't take care of you today, I really think I'm someone special. A dog like you dare to be arrogant in front of me. It's your honor for the saint to let you stay here as an audience. There is no bargaining for you here. Stay here. Don't go anywhere. Witness the glory of the saint. If you dare to escape, I will kill you. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, gritted his teeth and snorted coldly. It is especially firm to show this attitude at the moment. Others are not there, what can I say? Nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. Now that things have come to this, there must be a destructive momentum. Caog was beaten, so he didn't dare to talk nonsense, he could only purse his lips, and his eyes could not help but flutter. A heart is extremely messy, its rhythm is chaotic, and its thoughts are extremely loose. At first, I didn't think that bastard Wang Tu would lose. I just made some preparations in advance. But seeing this guy looking so angry, and looking at Fang Fan opposite, he was very calm from the beginning to the end. In this way, this Wang student may really be cold. I have a bad feeling. Call. My premonition seems to be, as if there is nothing wrong. Especially on such a big thing. If this Fang Fan is so easy to deal with, it is impossible for him to return safely to the city of the Protoss several times. And every time I go, I get stronger. These are all for a reason. Worrying. Now these things must be controlled. I have to be ready all the time. Once you see that the momentum is wrong, just run away. Caog shrank his neck, his eyes flickered slightly. Thinking secretly in my heart, my thoughts gradually rushed in my mind. The more I think about it, the more I feel like this. At this moment, his face was flushed red, and everything was silent. The rhythm of hip pulling is frantically gathering at the moment. Slowly, the feeling is coming. Okay. Any last words? Speak out. But I will definitely not help you fulfill your last words. Ha. Ha 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 ha. They all say that you are the reincarnation of a true god. I don't think so. If you can really kill the reincarnated body of the true god, this is also a great honor. Enough to dazzle me for a lifetime. Others are terrified of you because they suspect that you are the reincarnation of a true god. But I do not know how. To me, you are nothing. At first glance, that's it. Is the true God really omnipotent? If that's the case, you won't be reduced to this. Die. Today, I, Wang disciple, also come to experience the thrill of killing a god. Wang too, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, gritted his teeth. As he spoke, his eyes became brighter and brighter. He was panting for breath, his lips were groaning wildly, and his thoughts rushed in his mind. He put his hands together in front of him. The endless rhythm completely collapsed, and everything was silent. Right now, I want to completely tear everything in front of me clean. Only in this way can the boundless sense of carelessness be reflected. Ha ha ha. It's so lively here. Saint Wang, why are you so impatient? There was a burst of laughter in the distance, and then two figures appeared in front of everyone. The first-class saint of the Dark Temple, Motion. Madman, the #1 son of the Dark Temple. The two came hand in hand. This round is getting more and more interesting. I didn't expect that many people would worry about me. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, and there was a sneer on his face as he spoke. Magic Heaven! What are you doing here? Are you following me? The face of Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, gradually darkened, and his face looked very ugly when he spoke. He is not a fool, he knows exactly what happened right now. The moment he came out to intercept Fang Fan, the demon came here, it must not be a coincidence. Moreover, Wang Tu was very careful when he left Yuanqi Shencheng, but he didn't expect Tu to reveal his whereabouts. From this point of view, the demon heaven had already arranged for people to pay attention to his movements. Once Mo Tian, the shit-stirring stick, came, he wanted to kill Fang Fan, and there was an extra layer of haze. Brother Wang, don't speak so harshly. What is tracking? Speaking of stalking and following, it was you Brother Wang who took the lead in doing it with little friend Fang Fan. Fang Fan is such a talented person, it's just that your Temple of the Alliance of Light doesn't protect him properly. You, a first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, actually came here secretly to kill him. Why? It's no wonder that your Temple of the Alliance of Light hasn't made much progress in these years. Now it seems that the reason is here. A genius like Fang Fan is the greatest wealth of our allies. Little friend Fang Fan has spared no effort in fighting against the God of War clan, and has made outstanding achievements. How can he be killed by traitors? It's fine if the saint didn't see it. Once the saint sees this matter, he can't just sit idly by. If you really sit back and ignore it, what will it be? Isn't it the same as a traitor? Little friend Fang Fan, what I rely on most in the Dark Temple is a true hero like you. It would be great if little friend Fang Fan could come to my Dark Temple. Why? If my Dark Temple has a genius like Fang Fan, it can be worth millions of elites. Young friend Fang Fan alone is enough to hold up half the sky of my Dark Temple. The first saint in the Dark Temple, Mo Tian, was speaking and then slowly brought in his own wishes and rhythm. This is all flattery. I have to say that this is indeed a good hand in pyramid schemes.